You had me and your mama staying till the end of the game because we thought they was going to put you in today. From a guy that was on the sideline before, I liked your movement. I liked how you didn't sit down too long. You got up when you needed to get up. You was ready. At the end of the game, we thought you was going to get in.
I did too. That's why I was warming up. His first game in the stands.
Buddy, I'm never going to a football game ever again in my life. Hey, but you did good today, bro. You was like 3 thoughts away from getting in. Right. Or am I tripping? You was about to get in today.
I really was. It was close.
That's what I'm saying.
It was close.
They was edging you today.
The Cleveland Browns have not merely nudged, they have unequivocally plunged a stick directly into the agitated Sanders hornet's nest, and Shilo is with palpable fury, refusing to hold anything back. Picture the scenario: your own flesh and blood, your brother relegated to the sidelines, while the franchise audaciously attempts to masquerade his benching as some stroke of convoluted genius strategy. Yeah, Shilo wasn't just skeptical, he utterly rejected that narrative. He has, with volcanic intensity, just unleashed a scathing verbal assault on the Browns, as if their perceived slight against his brother was a direct personal affront to him. From subtle, simmering sideline shade to a full-blown explosive Sanders family fireworks display, this public meltdown threatens to make the entire Cleveland organization profoundly regret that they hadn't simply started Shedeur in the first place. So buckle up, this transcends mere football talk. This is a raw, visceral tale of family revenge played out ferociously in cleats. 3.4S.
I don't know my song, man. I can't.
You saw my hat?
You know who I am?
Yep.
Who?
Shedeur Sanders.
Yes, sir.
I wanted you to go win.
I know.
Why'd they wait so long for Gabriel?
I don't know, man. He's a good guy, though, bro.
Don't give up.
Steelers fans were cheering for
Thank
you, bro.
you. Appreciate it.
Seriously. We wanted to see you play, man.
Hey,
We wanted you to play so bad.
I appreciate it. You see me on the field, though? You see me on the side?
Oh, yeah. We're like, come on, put him in. We were yelling, put in Sanders. Come on, coach, we won 12.
Thank you.
Hey, everything happened for a reason. You know, I'm just thankful to God that I even have the opportunity to get on this field and to just get the chance, you know.
The Cleveland Browns are, with predictable and almost farcical regularity, indulging in their habitual antics once more, because it appears that utter chaos has by now been fully integrated into their foundational team culture. Somewhere deep within the labyrinthine Cleveland playbook, strategically nestled right between the sacrosanct tenets of run the ball and pray for field goals, there must undoubtedly exist a clandestine, hidden chapter ominously titled Bench the Quarterback, who possesses the actual potential to elevate our performance and make us genuinely competitive. And should you find yourself pondering who precisely is seething with unadulterated fury over this latest perplexing decision, then cast your gaze no further than Shilo Sanders, the unwavering big brother, the indefatigable hype man, and now, by all indications, the self-appointed, unofficial Browns accountability officer.
Said, if you and Dad sit next to each other for the whole game, then Shedeur can start. Would you do it or no?
Honey, you'll never get in.
Oh my God. All right, we're about to ask you some questions. You want to be in it?
Sure.
All right, you got 3 questions to ask Shedeur. It could be anything you want.
Do you think you should be starting?
All right, bro. You just want to cause controversy, I see.
Shilo, it's critical to understand, didn't merely wake up in a state of mild annoyance. He awoke in a condition that can only be accurately described as Cleveland mad. This isn't your average fleeting irritation. This is the profound seething indignation that compels an individual to begin an agitated pacing ritual across their living room, inexplicably don sunglasses indoors, all while grappling with the existential question of why a franchise that has, with almost unbelievable frequency, cycled through more quarterbacks than an entire Madden video game menu, still remains utterly bewildered, seemingly incapable of comprehending what decisive action to take when they finally, miraculously, acquire one blessed with genuine undeniable star power.
Like him?
I just watched the video.
Who is Shilo, though?
Man, it's Shedeur Sanders, son.
For real?
They need to put your brother starting position.
What's going on with y'all, man? I'm Shedeur today. We at the Browns game. I'm here with Florida. I don't know if y'all remember him from the show when we was younger. I'm here with my mom. And y'all are here with Shedeur today. You know what I'm saying? Got the drip on today. Got a chain. Got a perfect timing on, man. I grew my beard out, you know what I'm saying? So I can be like Shedeur today. And Browns, I'm right here if y'all need me, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all need me at halftime, I'm right up here, so I'll come down.
You see, Shilo has been a first-hand witness to the perplexing spectacle of his brother, Shedeur, being consistently relegated to the sidelines, as if he were a talented prodigy inexplicably placed in a timeout for the egregious offense of simply outperforming his more seasoned veteran counterparts. Shedeur sits there, helmet meticulously in place, a picture of outward calm and collected composure, while the Browns coaching staff stubbornly, almost delusionally, insists that the time just isn't right for his ascendancy. Meanwhile, the exasperated fan base observes this bewildering circus unfolding, their collective thought echoing a sardonic sentiment. Yeah, the time isn't right because you're apparently allergic to the very concept of winning. And Shilo? He is absolutely, unequivocally, not tolerating this absurdity.
Tony, Shedeur will definitely be the backup, I'm assuming, for this game. Barring injury, is there any way the Browns would make that change if the offense is struggling?
There's going to be a call for it if Gabriel turns the ball over 3 times in the first half. Now, if they're handing off and punting, there's no reason to make a change. But if Gabriel is the reason they're in a hole to Miami at halftime, you know that stadium's going to be loud. Now, whether Stefanski does it, we'll see. He has not in the past with anybody else.
In Shilo's unwavering estimation, Shedeur transcends the mere definition of just another player. He is rather the indisputable franchise savior, quite literally wearing cleats. Shilo speaks of him with an almost reverential awe, portraying him as the singular individual who in one extraordinary practice session simultaneously invented the game of football, the fundamental laws of gravity, and the very concept of sound decision-making itself. According to Shilo's fervent advocacy, Shedeur dissects and reads complex defenses with an almost preternatural ability, as if possessing psychic Wi-Fi directly linked to the opposition's playbook. He boasts unparalleled precision, an unshakable composure under pressure, and innate leadership qualities. Essentially every single coveted trait the perennially struggling Browns franchise has been desperately searching for since the advent of color television. Yet, instead of courageously unleashing the formidable young Sanders cannon, the Browns, with their characteristic self-sabotaging flair, made the perplexing decision to bench him. Because of course they did. This is, after all, Cleveland, the perennial organizational enigma that possesses the uncanny ability to somehow transform even a generational talent like Tom Brady into a mere punter. Shilo is now vociferously calling out the profound logic vacuum that seemingly operates within the Browns' entire facility. His central irrefutable question echoes with incredulity. How can you possess a quarterback who is meticulously trained under the legendary Deion Sanders, Mr. Primetime himself, for his entire life, and still, with baffling conviction, decide, nah, let's keep him chilling on the bench while we continue to throw utterly unproductive screen passes for negative yardage? It is, in essence, the equivalent of acquiring a top-of-the-line Ferrari, and for inexplicable reasons, leaving it permanently garaged so you can dutifully carpool in a minivan, all in the misguided pursuit of experience. The absurdity is, to Shilo, glaringly self-evident.
Browns fans literally have no filter. Shedeur and his brother literally were interviewing Browns fans out and about. I don't know where it's at, but they literally said, hey, you got 3 questions to ask what you want to Shedeur. This kid, I should say, off the rip said, do you think you should start? They knew this kid wanted controversy. Like, the Browns fans know, these little kids know, Shedeur have to start. Kevin Stefanski, you in over your head, dude. You don't know what you're doing. You're the quarterback whisperer and you don't.
The exasperated fan base, too, recognizes the profound absurdity of the situation. Cleveland Twitter, a notoriously volatile digital arena, has functionally transformed into an impromptu therapy group. Every post reads like a collective, desperate cry for intervention. Just let Shedeur play. They have demonstrably reached their absolute limit with the endless cycle of mediocrity that is perpetually, yet unconvincingly, disguised as player development. And when Shilo Sanders decisively chimed in, it resonated like the unmistakable voice of reason, albeit one passionately infused with an undeniable side of fiery indignation. He employed no diplomatic pleasantries, no minced words. He went straight for the jugular, mercilessly dragging the Browns organization for their inexplicable refusal to utilize the potent weapon they possess, literally sitting right in front of them. To Shilo, Shedeur isn't patiently waiting for his turn. He unequivocally is the turn. He will passionately declare to anyone unwilling to listen that Shedeur's football IQ surpasses that of most professional coordinators, that his composure under intense pressure is nothing short of surreal, and that his profound leadership isn't acquired through training. It's an inherited trait flowing directly from his lineage. And in all honesty, Shilo's assertions are not unfounded. The kid is, quite frankly, built like a headline waiting to explode onto the national stage. Yet Cleveland, in its quintessential Cleveland fashion, appears to operate under a fundamentally different, almost perverse definition of success. Perhaps they are inexplicably saving him for when the harsh weather inevitably turns colder, or more alarmingly, when the team has already plummeted to its absolute irretrievable rock bottom.
Say what's up to Shedeur. He did good today. I rate his performance 10 out of 10. You know, I was a sideline guy before too. I like his movement.
You're so wrong.
I like how he didn't just stand in one spot. He was talking to teammates today.
She was encouraging them.
But all right, y'all, I'm about to go tap in with Shedeur real quick. Actually, I'm Shedeur. I forgot.
Or perhaps, at a deeper, more profound level, they are simply terrified of the transformative consequences that will inevitably unfold when Shedeur Sanders is finally unleashed to genuinely command their offense. Because one truth remains absolutely undeniable: if Shedeur steps onto that field and undeniably shines, every single individual who casts doubt upon him will be forced into a state of profound silence, and remarkably, that silence will descend with astonishing rapidity, and that precisely is the source of Shilo's intense, palpable frustration. From his impassioned vantage point, the Browns are not, in any conceivable way, protecting Shedeur. They are quite simply squandering his immense talent. His incredulity is clear. You possess a perfectly capable quarterback sitting right there, while you're out here orchestrating an offense that appears to be allergic to scoring touchdowns. He cannot comprehend it. The frustrated fans cannot comprehend it. And honestly, no rational observer outside the insular confines of the Browns facility can fathom it either. This, it seems, is Cleveland's unique brand of innovation, consistently executing the exact opposite of what logic and common sense dictate, all while attempting to portray it as some brilliant, inscrutable 4D chess move. Meanwhile, Shilo is steadfastly out there, relentlessly giving interviews, hyping up his brother with an almost evangelical fervor, as if Shedeur is the second coming of Peyton Manning, but imbued with an undeniably cooler swagger. He meticulously breaks down Shedeur's game with the passionate pride of a doting father at a career day, eloquently explaining how his brother perceives the entire field in exquisite slow motion, how every single throw appears to be guided by an internal GPS. The sheer unshakable confidence embedded within Shilo's tone compels you to believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that Shedeur could effortlessly stride into any stadium tomorrow and unilaterally transform it into his own personal highlight reel.
Shilo Sanders just pulled the ultimate move, showing up to the Brown game as his brother Shedeur Sanders. The same jersey, the same drip, the same attitude, and the entire stadium lost it in the airport.
What's going on with y'all, man? I'm out here in Cleveland. They said Shedeur QB number 2. Gotta come out here, you know what I'm saying? Just in case he get in. Feel like he might. I'm out here waiting on my car. It's cold out here. Tampa weather is definitely better, but this is the first time I've seen my brother and my mom in a very long time.
But the Browns? Oh no, their institutional inertia dictates that they are still evaluating. Evaluating what precisely? The precise duration fans can precariously cling to a thread of hope before it completely, irrevocably unravels into despair. Because at this agonizing juncture, the long-suffering Browns faithful have witnessed this agonizing cinematic narrative unfold countless times before. The franchise acquires a seemingly promising quarterback, engages in an almost ritualistic discourse about development, and then with predictable inevitability by mid-season, they revert to their annual mantra: next year is our year. It has become an inescapable yearly ritual. The initial intoxicating draft hype followed by a fleeting preseason optimism, inevitably culminating in the bitter regular season regret. And now they possess Shedeur Sanders, a surname that practically screams raw, explosive potential. Yet, somehow, in a bewildering act of self-sabotage, they remain stubbornly stuck in neutral. Shiloh's profound frustration transcends mere familial loyalty. It is at its core about safeguarding an unblemished legacy. The Sanders name intrinsically signifies peak performance, audacious confidence, undeniable flash, and most crucially, irrefutable results. Shiloh's visceral reaction resonated so powerfully and made such significant waves precisely because it wasn't merely an emotional outburst. It was a surgical dissection. He meticulously picked apart every single flawed element of the Browns' perpetually misguided approach, ranging from their stubbornly conservative play calling to their profound and systemic lack of trust in their burgeoning young talent. He, in essence, delivered an unequivocal message to the entire football world. If you possess someone genuinely special, utilize him, do not passively babysit him. And the fans, with a collective roar of recognition, absolutely adored it. Finally, someone had articulated precisely what everyone had been thinking, agonizing over for weeks. The simmering frustration within the fan base has been boiling just beneath the surface since preseason. Every single game that inexorably passes without Shedeur commanding the starting position feels like another irretrievable missed opportunity, a further erosion of hope. Social media has transformed into a veritable war zone of despairing memes and spectacular meltdowns, with people desperately photoshopping Shedeur's resolute face onto superhero posters while tagging the Browns in an act of pure unadulterated desperation, a digital plea for sanity and strategic acumen.
Shilo just pretended to be Shedeur Sanders. This weekend after the Steelers-Browns game, Shilo stepped around the stadium and ran into fans cosplaying as Shedeur. He was tricked out in the whole game uniform fit, and what's crazy is people actually believed he was his brother. Multiple Browns fans came up to him backing him over Gabriel, but what's even worse is Steelers fans were even coming up to him claiming they wanted Shedeur in the game. I don't think Shilo really thought about this though, because when the other team wants you to come in and switch quarterbacks, that isn't really a compliment. They just knew that the Steelers defense would eat Shedeur alive and honestly give them a better chance of winning. But throughout all of these encounters, Shilo was signing autographs as Shedeur and even taking pictures with the fans. And as much as I hated on the Sanders family in the past, I am truly glad to see that one of them's using their personality for clicks and
One would logically assume the Browns would finally absorb the unequivocal message, yet somehow they appear almost entirely immune to public pressure, possessing an uncanny, almost mystical resistance to external influence. It is as though they exist within an alternate football reality where sound strategic decisions are treated as purely optional, and this perplexing detachment is precisely what renders Shiloh's passionate explosion even more iconic and resonating, because when he courageously spoke up, it wasn't merely on behalf of his brother Shedeur, it was a potent articulation of frustration on behalf of every single long-suffering fan, utterly exhausted by witnessing the Browns perpetually invent novel and bewildering ways to self-sabotage their own potential. He powerfully reminded everyone that Shedeur isn't merely good, he is in fact truly special. He embodies that rare archetype of player who possesses the innate ability to make the intensely difficult game of football appear effortlessly easy. He is the kind of dynamic talent who can miraculously transform seemingly busted plays into electrifying viral ESPN moments. According to Shiloh's fervent belief, Shedeur possesses a commanding intrinsic leadership quality that effortlessly captivates and commands a locker room's respect even before he utters a single word. This, he emphatically states, is not the NBA, where promising rookies might patiently sit for multiple seasons, diligently learning the ropes behind established legends. This is the intensely competitive NFL, and the Browns are hardly boasting a roster overflowing with Super Bowl caliber quarterbacks. The golden opportunity is glaringly undeniably right there, yet somehow, the team is behaving as if starting Shedeur would somehow catastrophically rupture the very space-time continuum. Cleveland fans have reached their absolute breaking point. They are unequivocally tired of the endless parade of stale excuses, utterly weary of the perpetually invoked learning curves, and most definitely exhausted by the disheartening spectacle of watching eminently winnable games inexplicably morph into demoralizing highlight reels for the opposing team.
Dripped out with the legendary on. Look at him. Got the hat backward. Got the legendary chain, Shedeur chain on with the jersey. That's the first jersey right there in the premiere. Tell me why a 5th round pick, 144 overall, was at the rookie jersey premiere with his jersey on a mannequin. And then the #1 overall pick, Cam Ward, begging. He ain't asked. He begged Shedeur for his first.
And every single time Shilo articulates his frustration, it feels as though he is masterfully channeling the collective pain of the fan base, amplifying it with an extra potent dose of scathing sarcasm, because deep down, within the collective consciousness, everyone intrinsically understands the transformative impact that would assuredly unfold if Shedeur were finally granted his deserved opportunity. He would unequivocally step onto that field, instantly seize command of the offense, and inject a vibrant, much-needed surge of life into a franchise that has, for decades, been agonizingly flatlining. He would single-handedly make the game genuinely fun again, but instead, Cleveland, in its baffling wisdom, continues to act as if excitement itself is a significant liability. One is almost compelled to grimace, or even laugh at the sheer absurdity of it all. The Browns possess a young, supremely confident quarterback, endowed with the impeccable mechanics, an undeniable pedigree, and the magnetic swagger necessary to completely rewrite their long-suffering narrative, and yet they are inexplicably choosing to keep him meticulously wrapped in metaphorical bubble wrap. This strategic inertia is akin to unearthing a priceless gold nugget and, with profound short-sightedness, merely utilizing it as a decorative paperweight. And Shilo? He has unequivocally ceased pretending to comprehend this baffling strategy. In his unequivocal mind, the Browns are actively, almost comically, overthinking themselves into an inexorable slide towards utter irrelevance. He is, with characteristic bluntness, uttering the quiet part out loud. Shedeur is unequivocally superior to what they currently have on the field, and everyone, both inside and outside the organization, knows it implicitly. He represents that exceedingly rare confluence of raw talent and unshakable composure that simply cannot be taught or coached, and perhaps that, precisely, is what the entrenched Browns brass finds utterly unpalatable. The daunting, unsettling idea that a 22-year-old phenom could step in and, with immediate effect, render their seasoned veterans look outdated and strategically obsolete. Shilo's passionate outburst was far from a random act. It was a deliberate, piercing warning shot. It was his emphatic declaration, reverberating with conviction: you cannot hold greatness hostage indefinitely.
Sanders is the funniest Sanders. I don't know. Look, y'all can make fun of him. Y'all can say he's this, he's that. You know what I'm saying? But man, do he be getting the people going. So he dressed up as Shedeur Sanders and went to a Browns game. You know, he was asking for a spot on the Browns. He was showing out with you know, some of the Browns fans, you know, and Shilo's just been on an extremely funny tear. Even when Coach Prime was getting his surgery, he was asking for a spot.
You to be getting all these surgeries.
So what am I supposed to do, Bobby? Way out?
And with each agonizing game that inexorably passes without Shedeur commanding the starting position, that palpable pressure intensifies, reaching a fever pitch. Fans are coalescing, rallying with fervent conviction behind Shilo's outspoken words. They are unequivocally tired of witnessing prodigious talent perpetually benched in the name of an elusive, often ill-defined patience. They crave the electric spark, the unadulterated excitement, the compelling reason to genuinely believe in their team once more. And the sole individual who appears audacious enough to articulate this universal sentiment out loud is Shilo. He transcends the simple role of a brother fiercely defending his family. He is rather a stark, unblinking mirror reflecting every uncomfortable truth Cleveland adamantly refuses to confront. That truth is they possess something profoundly special, and they are tragically too paralyzed by fear to truly unleash its brilliance. Yet, despite the institutional reluctance, one can almost feel it building, a seismic shift on the horizon. The very moment Shedeur finally seizes his rightful shot, it is destined to be nothing short of electric, the kind of transformative moment that instantly erases months of agonizing frustration, the kind that radically redefines a team's very identity and ethos. Until that pivotal juncture, Shilo will continue his vocal advocacy, fans will persist in their unwavering demands, and the Browns, with their characteristic theatricality, will continue to meticulously pretend they possess a coherent long-term plan. Because that, fundamentally, is what Cleveland does. It actively integrates drama as an intrinsic component of its convoluted game plan. And when Shedeur finally does ascend, the very same individuals who stubbornly kept him benched will, with practiced amnesia, suddenly claim they always believed. Classic Cleveland, the city where football hope systematically goes to get benched, only to be miraculously resurrected by a Sanders. Because let's face it, when a member of the iconic Sanders Sanders family calls you out, it transcends mere criticism. It is in essence a profound prophecy, and that potent prophecy is now beginning to hang heavily over Cleveland, like a storm cloud ominously composed entirely of meticulously gathered receipts, threatening to unleash its inevitable transformative fury.
Honestly gonna think this is Shedeur Sanders.
You saw my hat?
You know who I am?
Yep.
Who?
Shedeur Sanders.
Yes, sir.
I wanted you to go win.
I know.
Why'd they wait so long for Gabriel?
I don't know, man. He's a good guy, though,
Hang in there,
bro.
Don't give up.
Steeler fans were cheering for
Thank
you,
you.
bro.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Seriously, we wanted to see you play, man.
Hey,
We wanted you to play so bad.
I appreciate it. You see me on the field, though? You see me on the side?
Oh yeah, we're like, come on, put him in. We were yelling, put in Sanders, come on.
Every errant throw, every agonizingly stalled offensive drive, every awkward post-game excuse articulated by the Browns coaching staff merely serves to amplify Shiloh's prescient words, making them echo with even greater resonance and undeniable truth. One can almost viscerally feel the palpable tension brewing, a tempest gathering on the horizon. The restless fans are chanting with growing impatience. The media, like predatory birds, are circling with heightened anticipation. And Shedeur, he remains seated, outwardly as cool and composed as ever, patiently awaiting his destined turn, as if he already possesses an intrinsic knowledge of precisely how this compelling story concludes. Because that, fundamentally, is the quintessential Sanders way: maintain an unshakable calm, exude unwavering confidence, and ultimately allow the spectacular results to do all the talking. Shilo has already meticulously painted a vivid picture for all to see. The pivotal day Shedeur finally steps onto that field as the starting quarterback, the perpetually stagnant Browns offense will immediately cease resembling an infuriating traffic jam and will instead explode into the mesmerizing spectacle of primetime television. And when that transformative moment inevitably arrives, all the protracted bench warming, all the convoluted excuses, all the dismissive not yet talk will vanish with greater rapidity than a typical Cleveland playoff run. Until that moment of undeniable reckoning, Shilo will tirelessly continue fanning the flames of expectation and dissent, unequivocally reminding the entire world that his brother isn't merely NFL ready, he is rather profoundly NFL needed. The Browns, in their characteristic delusion, can persist in pretending they are exercising prudent patience, but everyone with even a shred of football acumen can clearly perceive what is inexorably coming. The countdown has definitively commenced, the fan base is palpably restless, and the formidable Sanders legacy is poised to detonate with explosive force right in the cautious, stifling confines of Cleveland's unimaginative playbook. And when it does, there will be absolutely no turning back.